Hello, everyone, and once again, welcome back to another episode of ChaiNet. Today, our today's guest spent 19 years as a team leader at Hoyer Group, one of Europe's largest liquid logistics companies. He spent 19 years with HGV tankers, overseeing fuel distribution, holding a CPC transport manager qualification. This is about as far from what he's doing today as you can get. In October 2021, our guest co founded the Roche Hair Experience, a specialist wig company based in Staffordshire, built around one idea that losing your hair should not mean losing your confidence. Honestly, in China, we spend a lot of time talking about how AI native businesses, how D2C brands, how they build in an AI world. One of a very deep question which comes into my mind again and again is what makes someone a great builder, right? Is it the industry they come from? Is it the funding they've raised? Is it their experience in the domain which they're working on? Or is it their operational rigor and thinking that they've developed over the years in a very different world from what they're working on? Charles is someone who's built a business around empathy, and he did it with tools most startup founders don't have. 19 years of learning how to manage teams, moving things at scale, and keep operations running when everything is on the line. Let's call Charles to the stream. Hi, Charles. Welcome to ChaiNet.
Yeah,
I'm doing fine. How are you?
yeah, very well, thank you. Hope you are too. Thank you for that. So, yeah, I spent 19 years as a fuels tanker driver delivering petrol to the petrol stations, and now I own a wig business helping people with hair loss for many reasons: chemotherapy, alopecia, or if you're going through the menopause, that can sometimes cause hair loss. Grew the business from first of all not knowing anything. And doing home visits. And then people were coming to me into my kitchen. I was helping people there. And as I got more experience and got qualified, I built a building in my garden, and the business has taken off ever since.
Wow, that's honestly that's very different. Like coming from after 19 years of experience in a certain space, right? It's very it. I don't even know how did you have the courage to do something so different. Most founders usually have a very specific moment when when they decide that okay, this is it. I am taking this call. I will build this. I will do this. This is where I want my life to go. What was yours? Did you have that kind of a moment? Is there something that happened which made you get into this?
Yeah, it's so to tell you the truth, I set the business up for my wife, not for me.
Right.
So it was COVID, just beginning of COVID, and my wife used to wear the weaves, and she used to travel down to Wolverhampton to get her weave done, but during COVID she couldn't get it, so
Hmm.
we ordered the hair in online, and it got delivered to the house. And my wife was like, "Charles, you're going to have to sew my hair in for me." And I was like, "I can't do that. I don't know how to do that."
Right.
And um, she showed me how to do it, and then it became a thing. I did it a couple of things. I got quite good at it.
Right.
I researched the hair trade and the hair business, and
Hmm.
I told my wife this will be a great business for her to get into. So
Right.
we set the business up for my wife to do, not
Mm-hmm.
as it was kind of set up in the early stages. She got a new job which she absolutely loves. Um, didn't want to do it, so I was like, I'm just going to earn my money back what I invested, and we'll close it
Hmm.
down. But as it turned out, I was still doing my driving job at the time.
Right.
I was managing both, but it did. The first year was hardly any sales, and then I realised we were aiming at the wrong market, and then I changed that, and it quickly grew, and then it just grew and grew, and over the course of the journey,
Right.
there's lots of factors which changed the business from a not working to then to a side hustle and then to a full business.
Hmm. Right. Wow. So it's almost like the business found you.
Absolutely. Like the first couple of years I was still full-time driving, and then
Right.
I went part-time driving, and
Correct.
I still have the driving job, but I do about 8 days every 40 days.
Right. Wow, that's right.
Yeah, and then soon I'll probably stop the driving altogether, and
Correct.
it'll be full
Focus
business.
on this. Right. Right. And what was your friends and family's reaction when you said that this is what we're going to do? We're not going for a job. We're trying to do this, and then eventually move into full time.
Yeah, so family was a couple raised eyebrows, but quite supportive. My friends, because the friends are, a lot of them are drivers as well.
Right.
They couldn't believe it. They were laughing. They expected it to fail very, very fast. I'm sure there's lots of laughter behind my back. One
Right.
or two friends who really helped and supported me as well.
Wow.
But yeah, because it was such a career change, and
Correct.
I had no hairdressing training.
Right.
The only experience I had was actually my wife, but that was actually a lot of help.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Of course, your wife was the inspiration, and she was actually the reason you started the business for. But apart from that, was there someone who made this feel urgent, who helped you, or who said that okay, this is you can do this. Don't wait any longer. Get into it.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. One of my close friends, he started a business a few years before me, business consulting, and
Or,
I went
right.
through them. Your Guardian, they're called, by the way, Dave
Mm-hmm.
Christopher. But no, he guided me through the whole setup of the business. And even today, if I need help, I just pick up the phone and he'll guide me, help me along the way. He was a massive part in the beginning as well.
Yeah, I think for any business you need people around, right? Like, where they don't have to be in the line of your business, something complementary, but yeah, you need people to say that okay, if at least if nothing else, you have someone to talk to, right? When things go
Yeah,
south.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely,
absolutely.
yeah.
And so, Charles, take me back to the first 6 months. I think that time probably COVID was around, right? And were you driving while during COVID as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we didn't stop working. We carried
Oh
on all the way
wow,
through.
wow, wow! That itself, I think that itself must have been scary because during being, I'm a techie, right? I'm a software guy. So during COVID, we were just all working from home, so we were away from the front lines. But driving during that time is as it is, you're on the front line. So take me back to that time. You're on the front line. You have your full time job where you're driving during COVID, and you're starting this and figuring out, or what are you doing, what are you selling. Take me back to that time. What did a day during that time look like?
Cool. So with my driving job, we'd wake up at 3 in the morning, start work at 4, do a 10 to 12 hour day. And then we'd have no mobile phones with the driving job. So any calls I had, I'd have to ring once I finished. But then once I got home, I didn't know how to build a website. So I was on YouTube learning how to build websites. I didn't know how to do Facebook ads. So I was on YouTube for hours learning that. On my days off, off, I'd get up at 4 in the morning before the kids would get up, and I'd be on YouTube learning how to edit a website, how to do Facebook ads. I was also on a course as well, learning how to do business, because I had no idea how to do business either. So I was learning that. So it was a lot of learning. So even on my days off, there are 13-hour days on my laptop learning. And then I'd do something wrong and the whole website would crash, and it was
And
stressful.
you would have no idea why, right? That time you do
No,
not have AI to help you.
no idea at all. And when I look back from the very first website to the one I've got now, it's so different. Even with the market we serve now, when we first started the business, we were selling hair bundles to Afro-Caribbean ladies, because that's like my wife, and
Hmm.
that's the angle we went. But we realized it wasn't working for us, and we had to change.
Wow. Yeah. Very, very interesting. And while within a niche, you also made a pivot. That's that's very credible. A lot of times when something is not working and you're working in another job, you're like, okay, let it be. Let the investment go. go away, but there's not enough mind space to actually do it. The wig market generally in the UK, right? It is very, it has very different tiers, right? Like NHS has, almost free wigs which they supply, and then there are luxury pieces which cost like thousands of pounds. Where are you positioned, and was that a conscious decision to position yourself in a particular segment in that market, and how did you reach that?
So when we started, we just joined everybody else, and we were offering the same wigs as everybody else,
Right.
trying to undercut people, but the margins were just so tiny. That was a business mistake. It didn't work. And now, through learning and trying things, we've gone to the top end of the market. So all our wigs are the premium end. Even our synthetic ones are luxury wigs. They're all hand tied. All the
Right.
materials are quality. The human hair wigs, the hair will be sourced from one donor, and it'll be a custom made order for our particular client. It takes around about 9 weeks to be made for them, but it's perfect for that client. So and
Wow.
that's
Okay. So it takes time, but it's one of the best and one of the most, yeah, right. Like the best product there is to offer.
definitely, yeah. When it's a custom made piece, it brings so much joy to the actual client, and it's nerve wracking because they've got to wait so long. And I'm hoping that they love it when it turns up. But because of the experience I've got now, it pretty much works every single time, and then they've got the perfect piece for them, and it gives them a lot of confidence going around about their day.
Amazing. Yeah. At the end, yeah, as the topic said, right? Like it's more of delivering confidence, right? So that people don't, while they're around, they're confident about themselves, they feel good about themselves. And talking about the name of your company, right? Honestly, I think while I was researching whom to interview, and I think I found you through your company. Usually, I find founders and then I find their companies. But I found, okay, I went to the website. I saw the Roche Hair Experience. In general, there is something which the word experience does. I don't know what. I don't know the psychology behind it, but it feels like a premium product, which is different, right? It doesn't feel like a run of the mill product. So congratulations on that. It's a beautiful name, honestly. Um, in theory, it's is sorry. I mean, practically, what does that mean? For how a client interacts with you. Like, how is it an experience, and why not? Let's say, I would say a store or a shop.
So yeah, the experience part side of it is, so basically everyone's selling wigs online and everyone's competing for
Correct.
price.
Right.
And when I was buying wigs for my wife, would buy a wig online like everyone else. It would turn up. It looked nothing like the picture did. It was normally too big, and as soon as you take the tags off, you can't send it back because it's a hygiene purchase.
Hmm. Correct.
And we ended up with spending thousands on wigs which were rubbish and didn't suit.
Hmm.
And from that experience with my wife, we were like, right, let's put in a system where people can come along and try the wigs on before they buy it. And it started off like that originally. And we've now grown the experience thing where the whole prospect journey is supporting clients, making them feel comfortable. They come along to try the wigs on with a loved one or a partner. Even if they want to bring their dog, that's totally okay, because
Hmm.
people have done, people do, and people will.
Right.
And through the consultation, it's like a big knowledge base. They get a whole lesson around everything. And then even if they're guided all the way through each step of the consultation and explained in great detail of what everything is and what it all means in the wig world and the hair topper world. And then after that, it's not just they buy a wig and they've gone. They go into like a personal automation system as well. Even though it's automated, it's very on it, managing it, and the emails are written to them at the right time. So the aftercare sequence is when they need it.
Hmm.
The follow up phone calls is when I think they need it, from feedback from the clients. And even like 6 months down the line, there's
Right.
contact between me and the person who bought the hairpiece.
Wow. Right.
So they feel it's not just a big company selling a wig. It's a
Right.
personal experience. It's a personal connection between me and them as well. And it's about them feeling supported and really happy with the whole item they've bought, the aftercare they get, and everything
Right.
else around. Yeah.
Right. It's like a 360-degree thing rather than just going online and purchasing something which doesn't fit. You don't know whether, you don't know what to
Yeah.
do with it. You just have like, you spend thousands of dollars with something you can't really use. I'm
Yeah.
sure
If you
overall.
imagine, if you're going through hair loss for whatever reason,
Right.
and especially for ladies, it's one of the biggest things where they express their personality and their confidence is actually through their hair a lot of the time.
Right.
And if that goes, I've had clients who have gone through hair loss through maybe menopause or stress. And over
Correct.
the years, they've stopped going out, maybe 10 years, stopped
Wow.
seeing their friends, stopped doing social. I had one lady who used to be part of a big parish, and she used to run all the parish or the coffee mornings, and she was the lady of the village. With
Right.
her hair loss, she gave that up. She stopped going out,
Oh God,
and it
that's
happened for over 10 years. And then her granddaughter was getting married, so she wanted to go, but she didn't want to go over hair loss. And thankfully, her daughter came with her. They found me. We sorted her with a hair topper. She looked fantastic. And she started going back to her socials, got her friends back, went back to the parish, everything. It's a real mental thing, social thing,
of
confidence.
course.
It's
Right.
massive. It's huge. And I think
Yeah.
something so big, buying something online without the wraparound care and the guidance doesn't overly work. And I think that's one of the reasons I'm doing quite well.
100%. I think, yeah, you're right. And something like this, you need someone to talk to, right? You need someone who can talk you through the journey of selecting what to, what would could look nice on me, and how can I get that confidence back? Because it's not, it's like if someone's going through hair loss, they might feel that your hair is something which is, it's not an essential part, right? In general, like it's not that it's not something which gives you a physical disability but a mental stress, right? And that itself is hard on people. And I think with in today's age where generally depression and anxiety and all of this is at its peak, I don't know, was it covid, or what's is it that we're always on our mobile devices? But in general, mental health, maybe it's just awareness, right? Maybe it was always there and we did not accept it, and now we start accepting it more. But yeah, but mental health itself is a big issue, and I think something like this solves for that, which is amazing work, right? And a lot of it, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of it is talking to people. And it's not just it's not it isn't just a wig, right? It isn't just giving a wig. It's giving their confidence back. So I'm sure you've had a lot of conversations, and you've had difficult conversations as well, right? So overall, what do you think, what has been your hardest conversation that that you've had, that let's say you were not prepared for when you started this and you thought you're getting into this?
One of the hardest consultations I've done was someone's booked a consultation online. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that the reason wasn't selected, and then a
Mm-hmm.
family came, so three members come, and as they're walking up to me, I'm up there to greet them, and I notice everyone's got hair. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
not sure. And then we get into the conversation, what brings you here today? And unfortunately, the daughter was tragically killed in a car accident. And in the surgery, they had to do something with the scalp. and they needed a wig because she had no hair for the funeral, and it's an open casket funeral.
Oh God.
They're showing me photos of the girl, and yeah, that was hard.
I'm sure.
Giving me shivers now. And the way they handled it, they're just amazing. And
Wow.
it was bad, and that was a hard what to do. Luckily, I had something in place for them. Perfect. Mentally, you feel so bad making money of any situation like that. In fact, I didn't. I just gave it them for what I paid for it.
Right.
And there's a few occasions where you feel like you can't make money off this situation because you just won't sleep at night. And I think that's the right thing to do, because there's many occasions where I can make money, but something like that,
No, yeah.
yeah, that's the hardest consultation I've done. And afterwards, for some time after, it was on my mind for a long time.
I'm sure. I think it'll be on my mind for a long time as well.
Yeah,
It's yeah. This is not.
That's never a consultation I thought or imagined
Yeah.
be in that situation.
Hmm.
There's so many situations where it can quickly throw you off your normal chain,
Of course.
way of doing things.
Right.
And luckily, I'm in this job and I could offer that service to them where they didn't have to go to the city centre into a big shop where there's lots of people walking around. Every consultation is private. Everyone has their 1 hour slot, and I allow an hour before and allow an hour after. So if people turn up early or it runs over, there's no like crossover.
You have time, right? Yeah.
I have time. Yeah. So that was a tricky one. That was an upsetting one.
I'm sure. It must have been. It's hard to have such conversations. Yeah, it's cool. Like, yeah, I think it's at least, yeah, they found you, and they did not have to go for like just a product and get sold and upsell and whatnot. That's yeah. And have in your journey, has there been any time when you've thought that, okay, this is it, I want to shut this down, I want to go back to my previous life?
Yeah, so many times. The first year, I didn't make any money. We lost money, actually. We probably lost in thousands. And I thought, let's just quit. Like, I've been doing my drive. I know what I'm doing. It's a good job.
Right.
But I changed from Facebook ads to Google ads, and that brought the customers in. And then the next stage, when I thought I was going to give it up, was sometimes if I do 4 or 5 consultations in a day, there can be a lot of sad stories or I spoke about. And then if people are terminally ill as well, and families, people, humans, we go through quite a lot. And sometimes speaking to a stranger like me is easier than speaking to your loved ones sometimes.
Yes.
So
yes,
by the end of the
100%.
day, I had 4 or 5 consultations, and everyone's told me their stories. And if they're sad, at the end of the day, I'm actually, I've taken it all. You've got to take it. It's very hard to separate.
You have to take in all the energy.
Taking all the energy, yeah. And, unfortunately with hair loss, it's normally around chemotherapy, tragic accidents, and a lot of stress cause hair loss. So they're all things which are quite heavy.
Yeah, I have a friend who's a psychologist, and although like it's a different profession, but ultimately she's also taking in a lot of the the sad stories and whatever's happening in her patients' lives. And by the end of the day, if she doesn't meet people after her work hours, she like, I can meet you in the morning, but you don't want to meet me in the evening, because by that time, after like 4 or 5 patients, I have so much in my head. And for the patients, of course, it's very beneficial that they get to talk to someone like you guys, right? Like a stranger, or where you can actually just let go and say that, okay, this is what's happened to me, and this is what's happening. But yeah, for the person absorbing that, it's hard. I am sure it's hard, and being in that business, it's even harder, right? And then, wow. But yeah, like you as a stranger, when we spoke backstage and before we were for this podcast, I did not know we would go into so much like this. After every question, my respect for your profession is increasing tenfold. Honestly, what you're doing is superb. It's not just a business, right? It's, I don't know if you believe in God or not, but it's God's work, right? It's something which you really, it's a lot of help for people.
It gives a lot of help.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Is there something today which is still manual, which you think, this would love to automate this one specific thing?
So for me personally,
Mm-hmm.
sending out gifts, I'm doing
Hmm.
it in a bit of an old-fashioned way. So I'm either going to the post office and sending
Okay.
it. I'm writing the letter out myself. I'm packing all the parcel up. I'm putting the stickers on the envelopes. I'm handwriting
Mm-hmm.
the names on, and then I'm going to the post office to post it. There probably is
Right.
a automated way of doing it,
Hmm.
but I don't know if I'm big enough or sending enough parcels for that, and I don't know how to do
Hmm.
it yet. But that's something where it takes a lot of my
It
time.
right.
If AI could do that for me, that would be great. Yeah.
Maybe in the future, you never know. Yeah. There are Elon Musk is coming up with those robots which could maybe then do this for you eventually.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your vision with the Roche Hair Experience? 5 years from now, where do you see? Uh,
I think it's going to be either a franchise model
hmm.
where people can see how I do things and want to be part of it, but open up their own store, doing it the way I do it. That's
Right.
one way. The other way is opening up stores myself and
Hmm.
pretty much picking the person I want to run it myself, giving them a job,
Correct.
paying them directly. So we're looking at both ways at the moment, seeing
Hmm.
what will be best way of doing it.
Yeah, those are both options have their own advantages and disadvantages,
Yeah.
and yeah, you have to decide. And is there one thing which you would want to tell other business people of about running a business which no one else warns you about?
Yeah, definitely. You should definitely do a business course because you can have the
Hmm.
best business, but if you don't know
Right.
how to run a business, i.e.,
Correct.
set your profit margins, know how to do your admin tasks like your tax, and even though you have account, you still need to do your bookkeeping and things like that,
Yes. Correct.
and all your marketing and so much around a business.
Hmm.
Be successful, even a good business. If you don't know how to do everything, then it won't work.
Hmm.
That's so. In the first couple of years, I didn't know how to do it all, and then
Hmm.
once I gone on these business courses, learned how to do it, and that's
Correct.
when I've seen the growth. And if I did that before and then started the business, it would have been great from the beginning. But then, as I
Hmm.
guess with a lot of things, experience is key.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just in the process now of writing all my standard operation procedures for
Correct.
everything I do, literally everything, and then put that, and then it's like a business in a box. And then if
Hmm.
I could do that off someone when I first started, and then it's just perfect from the beginning. But the way I did it was all from scratch, learning everything from scratch. So it took a lot of time, a lot of mistakes, a lot of money wasted. Whereas if you follow like
Right.
a franchise model, I guess it's a lot easier because all that work's
Hmm.
already been done.
Yeah, you have all the SOPs ready. You have to just do what you're told, basically, and yeah, don't have to experiment on your time, with your time, and with your money. So yeah. If you go back, what would 19-year-old Charles think if he saw what you're building now?
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have believed it. Even now, I pinch myself
Right.
thinking, "Cool, I'm a hairpiece wig shop consultant." I could never have, I would never have thought it, never imagined it. And to my
Hmm.
son, daughter, I tell them that to not put any barriers up to where
Hmm.
you could be, because I never imagined I'd be doing this ever. I didn't know I'd be good at it either. But I think the key for me is probably the way I interact with my clients and people. What is a big thing for my business working. But yeah,
Hmm.
I wouldn't have known it as 19 years ago. I thought I was going to be a tanker driver until I retired.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think you just said a very, very important thing. Just very, by the way, that you should not put any barriers to what you could be. If you can, it's more of how much you think you can achieve. Because yeah, if you think big, then you will work for it. You will take calculated risks. You will
Yeah,
spend those
that's
sleepless nights.
that's a good sentence there. So I think when you're employed and you get paid a salary, you get paid what they want to pay you, and that's your limit. And it's
Right.
very hard to have a passion when you're working for a company and the salary's capped. And running your own business, it really opened my eyes to you get out what you put in, and
Right.
you put a target on. Oh, I think I could maybe hit this target or that target, and when you hit it, and then you hit the next one, then you hit the next one, something goes on in your mind. Goodness, all those years I've been limiting myself to
Yes.
what I thought was good. But really, when there is no limit, you can really push
Hmm.
yourself and you can aim really high and you can grow. And my kids watching me do this,
Right.
they're believing too. It's great because I work from home, and then my kids are seeing me doing everything.
Right. Correct.
And yeah, it just shows that if you work hard enough and you can learn, then there is no real limit. You only put limit on yourself.
100%. 100%. Yes. Great, Charles. It has been amazing. I have one last question for you for today. Give me one piece of advice for someone who is in a job, wants to start a business, but is too scared to do it.
Start the business in your spare time. Don't give up the job straight away. That's what I did. I had my
Right.
full-time job, and then I went part-time, and then I'm gradually going less and less as the business grows. Because
Correct.
if you go all in straight away when you already have a good job and you've got your bills to pay, then it's risky. But if
Hmm.
you're young and you're living at home with your parents and you're still at school, then that's a great time to start because you've got your parents. Yeah. If you're older, you've got to balance the risk. And I know, and I wouldn't give up after year one or year two. You just got to find another way of finding how to make it work.
Correct. Correct. Amazing. Yeah, that's solid advice, Charles. Thank you so much. It's been a genuine pleasure, Charles. Thank you for being so open about about the uncertainty, about the hard moments you've had, and what actually drove you to build this. For all our listeners, if you want to find out more about the Roche Hair Experience, head to the rochehairexperience.com. We'll also be tagging Charles and their company on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on Instagram. Again, for our listeners, if this episode resonated with you, please share it with at least one person who's sitting on an idea, waiting for the right moment, and trying to start something new. Sometimes the right moment is just hearing a story like this one. Thanks, Charles. Thanks once again for your time. From our listeners, we'll keep following you. All the best for your journey. Looking forward to a lot more stores around the UK. And yeah, and this was ChaiNet. I'm Rachit Magan. This is the Agent E-commerce podcast. We'll see you in next one. Thank you,
Okay,
Charles.
thank you.